Lindsey Hawker's path crossed with that of Tatsuya Ichihashi, a seemingly ordinary young man harboring a dark secret. This chance encounter would set in motion a chain of events with devastating consequences. Ichihashi, a 28-year-old unemployed college graduate, lived a seemingly unremarkable life, supported by his parents and blending into the anonymity of the city. However, beneath his unassuming facade lay a sinister nature waiting for an opportunity to surface. Their paths collided on a crowded train, where Ichihashi, employing a carefully crafted facade of normalcy, approached Lindsey. Feigning interest in improving his English, he engaged her in conversation, presenting himself as a harmless, eager student. Lindsey, known for her friendly demeanor and genuine desire to help her students, agreed to a brief English lesson at a local cafe. This seemingly innocuous act of kindness would prove to be a fateful decision, unwittingly leading her into the clutches of a predator who had carefully selected her as his prey. The day after their initial encounter, Lindsey and Ichihashi met at the cafe as agreed. After their lesson, Ichihashi, under false pretenses, persuaded Lindsey to accompany him to his nearby apartment, claiming he needed to retrieve money for the lesson. Lindsey, trusting and unaware of the danger lurking behind Ichihashi's facade, agreed. She assured her friends she would be back soon, unaware that these were her last words to them. As hours turned into a night of agonizing silence, Lindsey's friends and colleagues grew increasingly concerned. She was a responsible young woman, always punctual and in contact with her loved ones. Her sudden disappearance was completely out of character. The alarm bells grew louder with each passing hour, prompting Lindsey's friends to contact the authorities. A missing persons report was filed, and the search for the missing English teacher began, casting a long shadow of worry and uncertainty over those who knew and loved her. The investigation into Lindsey Hawker's disappearance led the police to the doorstep of Tatsuya Ichihashi's apartment. It was a pivotal moment in the case, one that would unravel a series of chilling events. The initial knock on the door went unanswered, but the officers, sensing something amiss, persisted. Their determination was fueled by the urgency of finding Lindsey, whose whereabouts had become a matter of grave concern. Their suspicions were confirmed when they noticed signs of a struggle and a hastily cleaned-up crime scene. The apartment bore the unmistakable marks of a violent confrontation, with overturned furniture and scattered belongings. Panic and fear hung heavy in the air as the gravity of the situation became horrifyingly clear. The officers, seasoned in their line of work, were nonetheless shaken by the sheer brutality that seemed to permeate the apartment. In a gruesome discovery that sent shockwaves through Japan and beyond, Lindsey's lifeless body was found buried in a shallow grave on Ichihashi's balcony. The sight was both heartbreaking and enraging, a stark reminder of the fragility of life. Her body bore the marks of a brutal and senseless murder, forever etching the image of her suffering in the minds of those who loved her. The forensic evidence painted a harrowing picture of her final moments, a narrative of pain and betrayal. The news of Lindsey's murder sent shockwaves through Japan and beyond. Media outlets covered the story extensively, and the public's reaction was one of collective grief and outrage. The brutality of the crime, coupled with the fact that a young woman who had come to Japan to teach and experience its culture had been so cruelly betrayed, sparked outrage and fear. Lindsey's story resonated deeply, highlighting the vulnerability of those who seek to explore and connect with new cultures. The hunt for Tatsuya Ichihashi, now a fugitive from justice, intensified, becoming a nationwide manhunt that captivated the attention of a nation desperate for answers. The search was relentless, with authorities leaving no stone unturned in their quest to bring him to justice. The public, too, played a crucial role, with many coming forward with tips and information, driven by a shared sense of justice for Lindsey. The discovery of Lindsey Hawker's body ignited a firestorm of media attention and public outcry. Tatsuya Ichihashi, the prime suspect in her brutal murder, had vanished, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and a nation hungry for justice. The police, under immense pressure to apprehend the fugitive, launched a nationwide manhunt, their efforts fueled by a combination of public outrage and the determination to bring Lindsey's killer to justice. Ichihashi's face, plastered on wanted posters across the country, became a chilling symbol of the crime that had shaken Japan to its core. As days turned into weeks and weeks into months, the trail ran cold. Despite numerous reported sightings and the tireless efforts of law enforcement, Ichihashi remained elusive, his ability to evade capture fueling speculation and frustration. The case, initially a local tragedy, morphed into a national obsession, with every citizen becoming an armchair detective, eager for any scrap of information that could lead to the fugitive's capture. While the authorities tirelessly pursued every lead, scouring through mountains of evidence and interviewing countless witnesses, Tatsuya Ichihashi, the phantom at the center of the nationwide manhunt, remained elusive. He was busy orchestrating a daring escape and transformation, always staying one step ahead of the law. Driven by a desperation to evade capture, he meticulously planned his every move. He embarked on a life on the run, constantly changing locations and identities, shedding his identity and becoming a ghost in the shadows. His ability to adapt and disappear was almost supernatural. Ichihashi's flight from justice was marked by cunning and a chilling disregard for his appearance. He knew that to truly vanish, he had to alter his very essence. He underwent a series of painful and drastic plastic surgeries, each procedure more extreme than the last, altering his features to become virtually unrecognizable. His surgeries were not just physical transformations, but psychological ones as well. His once ordinary face, forever etched in the minds of those following the case, was gone. It was replaced by a mask of his own making, a new identity that allowed him to blend into the crowd. This new face was his shield, his armor against the relentless pursuit of the authorities. As he moved from city to city, he adopted various personas, each one more convincing than the last. Taking on odd jobs and living a nomadic existence, he became a master of disguise and deception. Ichihashi documented his experiences in a diary, a chilling chronicle of his life as a fugitive. The diary was his only constant, a place where he could pour out his thoughts and fears. His writings revealed a complex mix of remorse, self-pity, and a chilling detachment from the gravity of his crimes. Each entry was a window into his tormented soul. His writings revealed a complex mix of remorse, self-pity, and a chilling detachment from the gravity of his crimes. He was a man torn between guilt and survival. He was a man living a double life, haunted by the past, yet desperate to outrun it. The shadows of his actions loomed large, but he continued to flee, yet desperate to outrun it. His journey was a relentless chase, a never-ending quest to stay hidden and free. Lindsey Hawker was a bright young woman with a passion for teaching and a love for Japanese culture. Her enthusiasm for life and learning was evident to everyone who knew her. At 22, she embarked on a journey to Japan, eager to share her knowledge and immerse herself in a new world. She was filled with excitement and anticipation, ready to embrace the challenges and joys that lay ahead. Little did she know, her adventure would be tragically cut short, her life ending in a horrific crime that would shock the world. The news of her untimely death sent ripples of sorrow and disbelief across continents. Hailing from a loving family in Coventry, England, Lindsey was known for her warm spirit, infectious laughter, and unwavering determination. Her family and friends cherished her deeply, and her loss left an irreplaceable void in their hearts. She excelled in her studies, earning a degree in biology, but her true calling lay in shaping young minds. Her dedication to education was unwavering, and she believed in the power of knowledge to transform lives. Driven by a thirst for adventure and a desire to experience different cultures, Lindsey set her sights on Japan. She was eager to learn from the rich traditions and vibrant life of the country, hoping to grow both personally and professionally. Landing a job as an English teacher at a reputable language school, she was excited to embark on this new chapter. Her students admired her dedication and enthusiasm, and she quickly became a beloved figure in the classroom. Tragically, Lindsey's pursuit of her dreams would be brutally interrupted. The promise of a bright future was overshadowed by an unimaginable act of violence that left the world mourning her loss. Her story, instead of being one of cultural exchange and personal growth, would become a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface, shattering lives and leaving behind a legacy of loss. Lindsey's memory lives on, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring impact of her spirit. In the wake of her tragic death, communities both in Japan and England came together to honor her memory. Vigils were held, and people shared stories of her kindness and passion, ensuring that her legacy would not be forgotten. Though her life was cut short, Lindsey Hawker's story continues to inspire. Her dedication to education and her adventurous spirit serve as a beacon of hope, reminding us all to cherish every moment and to strive for a better world.